Hi! Hello my dear friends and welcome to the revival of the Cory monthly painting journey, this time for the month of June. Revival because I skipped the last 2 months. I have nothing to show you. Well, I had some miniatures to show you, but those were miniatures that I've painted in previous video. I didn't feel that it was right to just show you models that you have already seen in a video that I just did. So I just skipped the last 2 months. I didn't have the time to paint anything at all, and showing you like 2 to 3 models at best, I thought it was pretty dumb. But now I have some models to show you right here. Finally! So, what did I painted this month? So, let's start with the most recent group of miniatures that I have painted, which is my Blood Bowl team. Maybe you have already seen it, because I have painted this Blood Bowl team in a very special occasion. It was for the Pride Month, in collaboration with the Fabulous Marine event, which raised funds for the Trevor Project. And I am so happy that the event managed to crowdfund more than $10,000, actually more than $13,000 if I remember correctly. And I hope that somebody that watched my video actually donated, but nonetheless, I'm happy with this Blood Bowl team. I have painted this team, this Snotling Blood Bowl team, with a combination of color that you don't usually see in miniature painting, which are white, pastel pink and pastel sky blue, which is the transgender flag. I dedicated my Blood Bowl team to the transgender community, and I'm so happy on how the team turned out to be, also because blue and pink go really well with the green skin, with green skin of the Snotlings. I know that this team, technically speaking, there are 2 pump wagons, and I didn't paint the pump wagons. I have built them, but I didn't paint them because I don't really like the gimmick about pump wagons, because there are some units in Blood Bowl that are considered secret weapons, which are models that you are not allowed to keep on the field after you ended your turn. They are automatically sent out, and I really didn't want to use them in Blood Bowl because I don't know, I don't really like it as a play style. But instead I'm planning to paint a couple of trolls, and also you may notice the centerpiece, which is a giant, a 3D printed giant. Now this giant is a scan of the old Warhammer fantasy giant, and then reworked in CAD or Blender. I don't remember the creator what kind of software uses, but this is the old Warhammer fantasy giant, scanned and reworked for Blood Bowl. I 3D printed this model, and it turned out to be absolutely beautiful and amazing. It blends pretty well in what the setting of Blood Bowl is. Can't wait to try it, because giants are not something that you usually see when playing Blood Bowl, but they are something that you can use. They are a mercenary player, and they have some very special rules because they are very big. They occupy like 4 squares instead of 1. They have a very specific set of rules, and I can't wait to use it. I am so excited about it. And yeah, this is the Blood Bowl team that I've painted. I already have a Blood Bowl team, which is a human Reichland reverse Blood Bowl team, which is a very standard vanilla, almost no skill at all Blood Bowl team. And now I went for the exact opposite, which is the most chaotic thing that you could possibly do in Blood Bowl, which is a Snotling team, because they have like a bajillion rules and special abilities and stuff like that, and I have to memorize all of them. I am terrified, but also very excited, because it's going to be a complete mayhem of game when I'm going to play with them. Can't wait for this team to go on the field and hopefully win, I don't know. And speaking about Blood Bowl, I also painted this Goblin Referee. Now, this is a old out-of-print model from Forge World. I managed to find it with the Halfling referee that I didn't painted. This Goblin referee I painted for a tutorial video on how to use 3D wallpaper, and I didn't really paint it very well. I just painted this model really quickly because I didn't want the model to attract too much attention from the base of the model, contrary to what you would usually do, but just because this was a very special tutorial about basing your models, and I just painted it really quickly with a black shirt and pants and a blue hat and stuff like this. It's a very simple model, but yeah, I'm also going to use this referee in my games alongside with that ogre referee that I have. I still have to paint the two standard referee, which are the dwarf and the elf. Maybe I will paint them in the future, but for now I'm going to use this goblin and an ogre. And you know, snotlings and goblins are very small creature, but what if I tell you that I managed to paint something even smaller, because I have painted some Argatoria models. Now you have already seen some of these models, the half giants and the trolls, but not the barbarians, which I'm which is the group of model that you're looking at right now. I did a review of Argatoria. I still haven't played the game, also because I have to paint my Vendrell army and then I have to buy and paint another army so that I can try it out. But I think that if I really focus on painting Argatoria miniatures, it would take very long. It's just that I have like a lot of project at the same time, and it started to getting pretty difficult to paint everything, but you know, slowly but surely I'm going to paint also my Argatoria armies. The first thing that I was worried about painting this model is that this model are in 10mm scales, and I was very worried about details. Now, I tend to focus on details because I don't really like to ignore details, even though you are not going to notice them once you're playing your games, but details are there, and me knowing that there are details that I haven't painted, I don't feel like I did my job at the best of my possibilities. So I was a little bit worried about these models. Now it turns out that painting 10mm models is even easier and quicker than painting 28/32mm size miniatures, because details are, it's something that doesn't exist at all in this kind of models, in this kind of scale. Details are like the skin tones and you know, regular clothes and weapons that they might have, and that's it. I was worried about not being able to paint everything, but it turns out that I've painted everything pretty quickly and I didn't have to get crazy about details. You just base coat, wash, maybe you layer a little bit here and there, but that's it, you're done. The only details that I've painted, I've just free-handed some red stripes here and there on the barbarians and the half giants, because the Vendrell, the main, the primary characteristic of this army is that they paint red stripes on their bodies. So that's the only details that I decided to paint. I free-handed some stripes here and there, and that's it. Painting Argatoria miniatures is a pretty fast thing to do. It's a very easy and quick project that you can do maybe between more, you know, between projects that you struggle a little bit more, like regular miniatures, for example. Pretty happy about this. Can't wait to paint an entire army. I really want to see how the game is played. I already read the rules of Argatoria, and rules seems to be pretty easy to understand and also to apply in a game, but I still have to play games. Can't wait to do that. And let's go back to our regular 28-32mm scale models, because I have painted new models for my Leagues of Votann. Now, the one that I really love to kit bash, create and paint is this Grimnir. Now, I think that I have already shown you this model, but now, if I have already showed you this model, I don't remember if I already showed you in a video or in my Instagram. If you want to check out my Instagram, the link is down in the description. I have already, if I have already showed you this Grimnir, there is a key difference, because now he have two friends, two corvs. Now, Grimnir in the Leagues of Votann are the Psychers of the army, alright? And they go around with two floating robots called Corv. And this robot defend them from the perils of the war. I don't know if the rules have changed with new edition, but this was the rule in 9th edition. And this is a Kit Bash. Now this model comes from Ramshackle Game, the dwarf, and also the barrels in which he is on top of, and the floating barrels and all. And the two cores are actually two barrels that I have 3D printed and kit bashed with pieces with rifles from the Iron Head Squad Prospector team from Necromunda and other stuff. This is, if you have played this game, you may already notice, this is a homage from me to the game Deep Rock Galactic, which is my favorite video game of all time, personally, because it's a cooperative first-person shooter in which you are a dwarf in a team of maximum 4 dwarves, in which you go to this planet called Hoxis and you have to harvest minerals, and you also have to defend yourself from waves and waves of giant bugs. Which, if you think that this really look like Tyranids and the Squats, you are correct. So I decided to make this little homage and take inspiration from the Deep Rock Galactic and create this model. Really like how it turns out. The two cores are, technically speaking, two robots that exist in Deep Rock Galactic, which are called Bosco and Lloyd. Yeah, pretty happy about this model. And the last two Leagues of Votan miniatures are these two Earthkin warriors armed with Magna Rail rifles. Now, I know that Magna Rail rifles are not as strong as they were in 9th edition. These two weapons got nerfed really heavily now. They have 18 inches range instead of 30 or 35, I don't remember. But these models, I have 3D printed them before the new edition, but yeah, I just 3D printed them and then primed them, and then I just decided to paint them. So yeah, maybe I'm going to use them just to try them out. These models are entirely 3D printed, head to toe. The sculptor is called Exotic Gribble. If you want, I will leave the link down in the description. If you have a 3D printer and you don't want to spend like millions of dollars in Leagues of Votan from Games Workshop, you can buy the STL from the Exotic Gribble. They are literally a carbon copy of the Leagues of Votan models. Literally, I bet you that if you bring this model to a Games Workshop store, the employees would never tell the difference between the original Games Workshop miniatures and the one that you 3D printed from the Exotic Gribble. Maybe buy from him, like I did, some STL files, because those are pretty amazing if you have a 3D printer, of course. Yeah, pretty happy about these two models. So my friends, these are all the models that I've painted for this Cory monthly painting journey. Let me know down in the comments what you think about the model I painted. Down in the description there's the link for my Instagram, I already told you so, and also a way to support me if you want. Leave a like, subscribe if you want to see more videos in the future. This is going to be not my last video. I'm still going to upload one more video in July, and then I will just stop because I need to have some free time to reorganize everything and just you know, rest a little bit from YouTube, etc. I just want to paint whatever the hell I want to paint and play video games and just relax a little bit. I'm just going to make one more video, then the CMPJ of July and August, and then I will restart with my regular schedule on September. Pretty excited for the last video I'm going to do, because it's going to be Old World / Bretonnian themed. You will see. Maybe you have already noticed something here, but don't worry. You're going to see. So, my friends, I'm Cory. Hope to see you the next time. Ciao, ciao.